Hey, it's DMac SMaK for August 14th, 2025. A joint practice with the Cardinals here in town take on your Denver Broncos. Sad news for the Broncos right off the bat. And we say our hearts go out to the family and friends. Lionel Taylor, 89 years old, member of the Broncos Ring of Fame, has passed away. He was a member of the 1960 Broncos. As the first year they formed in the AFL. He was the first receiver in either the AFL or NFL history to have at least 100 receptions in a year. And I'm reading from Jeff Legwall, believed to have been the first African-American coach to be named a coordinator in the NFL, as he was with the Rams offensive coordinator in the 1980 and 81 season. So sad news for the Broncos family. Lionel Taylor was one of the originals in a time that, the Broncos were not very good. And then he was. So our respects go out to Lionel Taylor. Coming up today in DMac SMaK, we'll let you know what happened in training camp yesterday, what to expect out of the Cardinals today. A lot of hand-wringing about Bo Nix, that's for sure. We'll also go over the Rockies, who had a remarkable win. They did. And they stand 10 games away from not being the worst team of all time. We'll hear from Kyle Karros and from Warren Schaefer about that in just a little bit. But let's get to what everybody's buzzing about, and that's Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift.
I legitimately asked him what it was like when the Chiefs played the Eagles in the Super Bowl and he looked across the field, across the line of scrimmage, and saw his brother standing on the other, 5 feet in front of him on the field.
Yeah.
And he was like,
he
didn't even look at me. I now know what an insane question that was. He was like, actually, I'm on the offense. And my brother's on the offense, and I'm only on the field at the same time as defense. I thought everyone was out there at the same time. No, you don't understand. I thought it was like Jared Goff is here and Josh Allen's here. Yeah. And they're going to be like, they blow a whistle and then they go at each other and they're like, and it's like, who's going to win?
That's actually,
I would love to see Jared Goff play some defense. Let's see Jared Goff on defense.
I've got some ideas.
Okay, I got a bunch more clips, and now that I'm playing them, I wonder if I really should bother playing them. Or am I just going to drive you nuts with this stuff? Well, let's find out. We're brought to you by Journey Spice. You can save 10% using the code 10nuggets at Amazon.com. It's Journey Spice for the win. All you have to do is use this QR code right here, this bad boy, and it takes you right to where you need to go. Non-GMO, no salt, no sugar. Just goodness, with great packaging as well. And it goes on every kind of food that you could possibly imagine. We love Journey Spice. Absolutely love Journey Spice and use it every day in our household. Thank you to Journey Spice. More on Journey Spice in just a little bit, as we love them, as we love Tay-Tay.
Truly getting to know me in a way that's very natural, very pure, very normal.
I love the music, by the way, too.
Also, just the way that he could make me laugh so immediately about normal things. Travis is he's just a vibe booster in everyone's life that he's in. He's like a human exclamation point. He's like when you take a picture on your phone and you put you push the enhance color button.
Yeah. I was doing these clips last night. I was like, oh, this is really sweet. And now I'm just totally cringing. Here they are talking about being in a room.
Broadened your horizons so much.
We're the perfect. I'm telling you, she makes me so much better.
Thank you for saying that.
But it's like you see you on the stage and you see how crazy you can get an entire stadium going, and then I get you in a room and it's like I've known you forever. It's like it was just.
I'm having a hard time. Another one. Here's them talking about traveling to countries.
Fun about all the countries that we went to is when we first started dating, he was like, I
instantly don't care. Somehow I thought last night, I'd really want to All right, here's a story about holding children through the window. Jason.
Sudden, like, you're out there in the snow. You're handing me children through the window. Like,
I was trying to. That
it's
was
fully
not my best moment.
It was, and like, I think it actually was. And I'm
She's
really
like,
grateful.
Taylor. I was like, you want to see Taylor? I got you. Let's go.
We're going in.
Whose kid is that, Jason? Do you know where this kid came from?
Okay, I'm just realizing Jason Kelsey's wearing a T-shirt with Taylor Swift's face on it. Would I ever wear a T-shirt with my brother's wife's face on it? All right, here's caveman understanding big words.
A little bit more esoteric, like folklore.
She's so hot when she says these big words.
You know what esoteric means.
I know, it's for specific following.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
So, he knows what that means. He pretends he doesn't know what these words mean, but he knows what they mean.
Esoteric means for a specific following, like a specific genre of people.
He knows what it means.
Okay.
He does like a pretty, I don't know what it means thing, but he knows all the words and he knows what they mean.
I don't know.
And he may not have read Hamlet, but I explained it to him. So he knows what happened.
There we go.
Don't tell my.
Holy cow. I think we're all getting slightly stupider by watching this. Anyways, here's Taylor crying.
She was like, you got your music. And I just like very dramatically hit the floor for real. Like, honestly, just started
been a long time coming.
bawling my eyes out. And I'm just like, just weeping and kind of like unable. I was just like, really? Really? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm like, get yourself together, get your shit together. Like, just go tell Travis in a normal way.
Yeah.
And I knock on the door. He's playing video games. And I'm trying to say it in a normal way.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, that happened. And I like Taylor Swift. I do. But I cannot get over my hatred of the Chiefs and Travis Kelce. I can't do it. I can't. I like her. Jason Kelce seems cool. But I just can't sit here and be like, hey, that guy for the Chiefs, what a dude. Can't do it. Won't do it. Sort of did do it. Won't do it again. Apologize if I just bother you with that. It's funny. I felt different about this last night. Last night I was like, oh, this is really cool. And we'll do a deeper dive into it. And as I play it this morning, within the first 15 seconds, I'm like, I feel somewhat nauseous. I like her, though. I do. I think she's a cool person. Their relationship, fine, whatever. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just a cold-hearted jerk. But the cutesy wootsy stuff for two people like in their mid to late 30s is like, But hey, listen, my wife, who's a huge fan of their relationship, watched the whole thing, enthralled with the 2-hour podcast. I know it has millions of views. And I think she's got a good sense of humor, and I think she's a genius musically. But the cutesy wootsy stuff, short shelf life on that. We'll get to your comments in just a little bit. Why don't we talk about the actual Broncos? A couple of visitors out to the Broncos yesterday.
What's going on, y'all? It's PY here in AG. Coming to check the team out, man. Go Broncos. Go Broncos.
The question I have for the Broncos right now, it's good to see those two fellas there. It's funny because you think of the Broncos as like physically big guys. Peyton Watson's 6'7". AG's like 6'8". They stand next to the vast majority of the Broncos, and Peyton Watson, who you don't think of as a really big guy, makes him look small. 6'7" is 6'7". What can I tell you? But it's awesome. Those guys are both great guys. Love them both. Love that they were out, watching the practice yesterday. I think that's great. Good for them, man. That's awesome. Meanwhile, the coordinators talked yesterday. Joe Lombardi, very supportive of RJ Harvey.
Solid, he's been doing it all camp. There are times maybe where he bounces it, where he wish he hadn't, but usually he outruns everybody, so it works out. But he's coming along doing a really good job, and I think he'll just keep getting better.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm not worried about the third running back at all. They can do whatever they want. McLaughlin, Bidet, Watson, SMaK. SMaK seems to be on the outs, but I'm not worried about losing any of them. And if one of them has a special set of skills besides running the ball, say on special teams, and it's worthy of playing time, fine. If not, you can rotate guys around. I'm not losing sleep because the two guys that are going to get the vast majority of the touches this year are Dobbins and Harvey. That's it. And I think they're good choices and look forward to the running game being better. Meanwhile, a lot of speculation out there about Bo Nix. It's just like, when is Bo going to have a day? Bo was kind of crapping on himself the other day.
That we had a good practice, but I wasn't necessarily too excited with it today. But that's just, probably.
What about it? What's on your list?
A true starting quarterback.
What's your list of ticked off
well,
things?
I just, I felt like for starting from me, the energy could have been better today. But, I just got to do my job better. And, until it's perfect, it's not.
I mean, the truth is it just hasn't been a great camp for Bo, period, the end. There's not enough. And today's the last day of camp. And then with a joint practice with the Cardinals. So this is kind of it for camp. And it would be nice today if Bo showed out. Even Joe Lombardi, his offense coordinator, isn't overwhelmed by Bo.
Fine, good. I think, Cortland comes down with that one pass 9 times out of 10. We just missed a little bit on a ball to the flat there that would have been a big play. But I thought overall it was good.
Yeah, that's not exactly some sort of overwhelming response right there. It's good, fine, whatever, sure, It's not been good enough. You can tell by that response right there. And you can tell that Bo is just kind of sick of some of the attention. Now, listen, he brought on a pinch of it with the premiere of his YouTube channel, which just seems like a avenue for a merchandise store that he already had on a website. Now, you got like 2 videos out. You got all sorts of subscribers. I mean, cool. But in general, it's more about, providing some sort of insider connection with your audience, your fans. But for Bo, it was about selling merch. This is what happens when you have people around you that want to justify their jobs in terms of marketing and brand management and all that. Listen, everybody knows the best way as a young player to build your brand is seriously just be successful on the field. That's it. That's the number one thing you can do. And I really thought we would have had some of these moments whoa, Bo's like sort of dominating things. And yesterday was difficult because yesterday was another, they were in shells. They didn't have their pants on. I suppose you could thud in practice, but the practice was slow. It was okay. Like Joe Lombardi said, it wasn't anything special. Today could be special. Hopefully. That's what we're crossing our fingers on. And we'll have all the feedback for you as we're broadcasting live from training camp, morning sprint, and then myself, Tyler, and Scott. I'll be heading out there for the time that I can spend out there. Don't forget the Broncos do not allow us to broadcast past the time their practice is over. So we have to wrap it up when they wrap it up. It's in the middle of our show. 'Tis what it is. So we're looking forward to it today, and hopefully we'll have, better news. That's what I'm at least hoping for. Meanwhile, there is some sort of is he or is he not? Is it a hold-in or is it an injury when it comes to Nick Bonitto? And there's mixed opinions on it. Go back and listen to myself and Coach Sanford from last night, training camp recap. We kind of break it down and talk about it in detail. We're both leaning towards we got a little bit of a hold-in going on. But talking to Tyler Columbus, he says, it's just a foot injury. I see other muggles like Mike Kliss and others that say the same. So one way or the other, today's a little difficult because if it's got a hold-in going in or it's a foot injury, either way, he shouldn't be practicing. So I do not anticipate Nick Bonitto practicing today. And if he doesn't practice today, is he really going to participate in the game on Saturday? Does he really need to? And then it gets a little confusing. Like, how bad is this foot injury? Or are we getting a little hold-in sort of heat? And by the way, to me, it makes perfect sense that he would be practicing in the beginning because it's in good faith. And then perhaps there's been a stalling in the negotiations, and that would be, okay, timeout. I'm backing off here. You did Cortland, you did Zach Allen. It's my time. And the difference likely is he a $24 million a year, $70 million guarantee guy, or a $35.90. And that is a big, big gap. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the Broncos have been great with how they've been handling negotiations. So I anticipate more positive things in that direction. Little drama. Dre Greenlaw walks off practice with the trainer. I'd shut him down. You need Dre Greenlaw. You know what you get out of Dre Greenlaw. Sean Payton called him the Mike Tyson, the good Mike Tyson of the Broncos and in training camp. You could hear the difference when he hits people. Okay, fine. Well, what you can't have is him just not being able to play. A lot of guys on the defense, really don't need to do too much more. They're ready to play football right now. And this is where shit just drags out unnecessarily. This is why, this is a big reason why you're just going to have 2 preseason games. This is all you need. A fourth preseason game. A third preseason game is unnecessary now. These guys are in incredible shape, and what they do in the spring and with the time they already have in training camp, they're ready to go one way or the other. And you hash out details. And wouldn't you rather have a real NFL game than a preseason game against the Saints? I would. Other news, the debate about the punter is really interesting. From observations out there, Crawshaw from Australia, not great, not consistent, but boy, his coaches love him. Here's Darren Rizzi, and he does spell Darren the right way, talking about Crawshaw and his potential and upside.
Punting and kicking, a lot of it just comes down to technique, and a lot of that just comes, you got to remember, there's a lot of nuances to the punting game, where these Australian punters, which I've had a few of, they have had different styles of punts. Punting in college is a completely different game. And so just getting that consistency down. A lot of you guys play golf. It's like getting in the tee box there, or getting on the driving range, and you hit 5 great ones, and all of a sudden you put one in the water. And so just things with punting, your drops. A lot of it just comes down to technique. The best thing about Jeremy, one of the best things I should say, is that he's a self-corrector. Kind of knows exactly what went wrong, when it went wrong. Again, I'm not going to put a whole lot of stock into Saturday night because we had 2 short fields, and the numbers can be skewed there. I really like where he's at. I'm really, really happy we have him. I think he's got a bright future. I know Sean mentioned something about Thomas Morstead. Obviously, Coach Thomas, myself at the Saints, and he was, just kind of very, very complimentary of him. And so, again, I've said it before. I'll say it again. The talent's there. It's just the consistency. We got to find, his happy home there. But you guys saw, like yesterday in his punt session, he had his first 5 or 6 punts where we'll take those every time. So we got to bring that to the.
I assume that's the special teams coordinator, permanent voice is not like this because he's yelling and screaming all the time. That's actually the first time I heard Darren Rizzi talk. And I was making fun that his voice is probably raspy, kind of like mine is this morning. I was up too late watching Taylor. The problem with that analogy is it's kind of like us. You hit 4 good balls off the tee and you put the 5th one in the water. Well, okay, that's true because I suck at golf. If his analogy is Crawshaw is just like the average person in golf, bad analogy. Like, how often does Rory McIlroy off the tee put one in the water? 1 out of 100? 1 out of 1,000? Bryson DeChambeau, how often does he, hit a worm burner? What are we talking about here? Scotty Scheffler, how many times does he just hook it into the house off the third tee? Whoops. Hope that house is okay. I mean, never. Because these guys are, and never mind the big names, I'd take anybody on tour. And if you put them on the driving range, I doubt they're putting it in the water. Bad analogy, coach. You're punting at the absolute highest level. His punts, theoretically, even as a rookie, should be as consistent as if we're making that analogy, pro golfers, not hacks like me and you. So weird analogy right there. There's a lot of pumping this guy up, and because I don't think they want to think they've made a mistake. So if you want to talk about something that matters and somebody that needs preseason games, I guess it's our punter. And don't forget the history here. The Broncos did offer Riley Dixon, who they also drafted, got rid of to the Giants, brought him back, and then lost him in free agency. He's one of like the few L's in Broncos free agency. Most of their free agency offseason was tremendous wins. The punter was an L. And so you draft a guy, okay, like you need better out of this dude. Or you got to bring somebody else in. It's going to be embarrassing for them. And you can tell the degree that they're pumping him up. They want him to work out, obviously. Broncos, Cardinals today, full coverage for you. One of the studs has been Trent Sherfield. This is a free agency win. So a little profile on Sherfield. He's been fantastic, and he talks about his journey.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, when it comes to, my career, I think I've always been sneaking through the back door as far as special teams go. Arizona, started out in Arizona, and then obviously I had a quick stop in San Francisco, and then been a few other places. But to answer your question, I think that during this free agency, I've always wanted to make sure that I pride myself on being a two-way player. I keep on saying that, but it's something that I truly believe in. And I think that obviously when you have Coach Rizzi sign, and then you have Sean Payton, who's obviously the head coach and the play caller here, and I just really wanted to make sure that it was the place that I went to could cater to both. And again, I take pride in run blocking, I take pride in running routes and making plays, but same exact thing in making sure that I'm going down and covering kicks and down in the punt inside the 5. I think that's just as important. So both of those phases, you can't win without one phase in the game. You need offense, defense, and special teams to win the game. And so whatever my role is, whatever that is, that's I'll be the best at it. So
he's been the surprise player of camp. It's been fantastic. You got to get him the ball. Disappointments or underachievements go to probably Audric Estime and Devon Vele. So we'll see where they live. We'll see where they operate. Then you had Cortland Sutton and Zach Allen both signed. Got a little bit of a hold-in or an injury. We'll see with Nick Benito. Today will be very interesting. And you got to put Dre Greenlaw, who we all love, on bubble wrap. Bo Nix is a story too, because it just hasn't been incredible. But it's camp. And there's no quarterback controversy, please. If you think that, you're dumb. Simple as that. Get to your comments here in a little bit. Also, remarkable effort by the Rockies, who are in a very interesting historic place. More on that in a second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
Thank you to Journey Spice. Right here with me, this is Pizza Seasonings. Again, you just pinch on it. Dish. Pop, 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 pop. Put it back on. Easy peasy, I swear. Reusable, recyclable, delicious. Good for the environment, good for your food, good for your tummy, good for everything. Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. All the information's right down there below me. Just look down there. You'll get it. Thank you, Journey Spice. All right, let's get to some of your comments, and then I'll tell you about the Rockies. Oh, my guy Andon right here. Good morning. Chiming in. Don't know why, but I keep thinking of Case Keenum's book and when it was released. Hope Nix can stay focused on what matters right now. His personal brand is not. Right? 3 brand. And you're completely right, my man. And I think Bo is a little frustrated by all of it. I think he loves playing football. I think he's good at football. And all this other noise is a pain in the neck. So, I mean, he put himself in that position a little bit, and his coach has too. And yes, when Case Keenum came here to town and he wrote an autobiography, usually you write that when your career's over. Nothing says, hey, I'm here for the long haul, like an autobiography when you first get here. But I was fine with that because Case Keenum should have been a mentor to Josh Allen. And John Elway then had the worst draft of all time. Twice, because he missed on Josh Allen, and he could have moved up into the first round like the Ravens did and got Lamar Jackson. And if you had Bradley Chubb and Lamar Jackson, even a cynic like me would have to say, oh, okay, good job. I didn't see that. Very risky, but hey, good job. But we got Courtland Sutton instead. That's what happened. Let me get some more comments here. Hi to you. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Incredibly tough watch from the Kelsey brothers. DMac, Braintree, Mass, Little League World Series today at 1:00. That's cool for those kids, but I am Joey. I am not a Little League World Series guy, and I know a strange amount of it. I don't wish ill will against kids, but greedy parents and corporations putting kids as free labor on TV ain't my bag. In a lower brand of 12-year-old baseball. Again, you don't want to get me going on this. Forks up. Yeah, I got a little forks up action. I rotated in. I got the older son who went to ASU. I got my younger kid. We're dropping him off. Well, dropping him. He's driving himself to college at CU to finish up his degree. That's tomorrow. I'm super proud of him. I love him very much. And so I go both ways. I'm ASU and Buffs. Both ways. When I visited my son at ASU, did you ever hike Tempe Butte? Yeah, I've done that many times. I have done that hill up on the A several times. I've hiked it. I've run it. There's one way, kind of the main way, which is a trail up, but off to the side a little bit from Mill Ave, there's actually kind of a road that you can run up, believe it or not. And yes, I've done that multiple times. Morning from the mountains, morning to you. Darren Rizzi equals John Fox voice. If you didn't have a video, hey, what's going on, everybody? Sean needs to practice what he preaches, radio silence. Bo's smelling his own farts right now. Let's talk about the Rockies real quick. They win 6-5 yesterday in very dramatic fashion as Hunter Goodman hits a 2-run homer with 1 out in the top of the 9th. They beat the Cardinals 6-5. They win the season series against the Cardinals. First time they've done that since 2009. So in this season of absolute misery, they've owned the Cardinals. That is going to be rough for Nolan Arenado. Spilly after the game with Kyle Karros. Real quick on Kyle Karros, and I'm proud that and happy that he's there. Son of Eric Karros. My younger son's 13U team was playing in a really high-level tournament, way more advanced than the Little League World Series. Trust me. And we're at the Field of Dreams down in the Phoenix area in Arizona. 64 teams, real high-level stuff. You know, for our team to go down there, it's like get a taste of what real high-level youth baseball is all about. We got you get seeded, then you play according to your brackets. So I think we lost the first couple games. Then we got seeded in a lower division. Then we did okay. We won a couple games, but, whatever. However, one of the teams we faced was this team from Southern California, coached by Eric Karros, that Kyle Karros played on. It was the best youth team that I've ever seen in my life. And these are basically 13-year-old kids. They had 13 players, and normally we just carried 11. Why? Because you play everybody at youth baseball, and you're only playing, I think at that age, we were only playing 6-inning games, I believe. And maybe it might have been 7 innings, but it wasn't 9 for sure. And so you don't keep a million people on the team. You don't get to that till you get to high school. And even high school probably has too few, because too many rather, because they play 7-inning games. And how do you get everybody in and blah, 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 blah. So we played 11 because I believed in hitting the entire lineup and you want kids to play. Well, they bring 13. And I'm like, oh, that's an advantage for us. Their top kids aren't going to blah, 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 blah. I've never seen a lineup like it. Kids 1 through 13 could all hammer the ball. All of them. It was unreal. We kind of hung in there. We actually put up a couple of runs early, which was remarkable. And then I think they beat us like 13-2. Something. We actually did all right. And it's weird to like lose a game 13-2 and just be like, hey, man. And they ended up winning that tournament. They beat another really good team 2-1. And when you see like young kids play high-level baseball, like a 2-1 baseball game at that age, it's really unusual. But they were that good. I saw Eric Karros the next day, and I didn't go up to him as a, hey, you're a celebrity. I went up to him as a coach because I was just curious, like, how are your kids? How are they this good? And he was very nice. We spent like 5 minutes talking about it. And he said what they do is they only play tournaments basically on the weekends. They travel the country, and they've got a roster of about 20 kids that try out for that team that they just call upon when needed. So it's kind of like this incredible California super team of kids, which, by the way, completely legal. This is not the Little League crap where you're supposed to all live in the same town. This is completely legal in high-level tournament baseball, which is why there's so many other higher levels of youth baseball aside from Little League. And, of course, Little League has cheated throughout the years in terms of zoning and age and birth certificates and equipment and blah, 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 blah. Field size, too small. Base pass, too short. Fences, too short. Bats all geared up for home runs. Again, I'm boring you with this. But the way you play at that age, you're playing 300-foot fences. You're playing, I think it's, 50-70, not 46-60. You have leads, you play real baseball at that age. Real baseball, doing it the right way. Playing real baseball, not Little League baseball. And it was interesting just to see they had just built this kind of California Supers team. So Kyle Karros, I saw him and played against him like my kid did at the age of 13. And they were freaking amazing. So to see him as 6'5", now playing third base for the Rockies at 23 years of age is probably not surprising. And he had a good day yesterday, a couple hits, and a key walk that led ultimately to Hunter Goodman's home run.
What did it feel like for you just being a part of a great series win?
Unreal. I mean, the first weekend was sick, just being up here with these guys, but then to throw some wins in the mix, it's been super satisfying.
I want to get into your late at bat. I know you had a couple hits early on in the game, but working a walk in the ninth inning against a closer, what were you trying to do in that at bat?
I mean, the first pitch I swung and missed at. I kind of saw it well, though. I knew he had nothing to beat me with, and then I was just trying to get on for this guy to come up and do what he did. So it was super cool to just be part of it and get on base and let my teammates do the work.
Happy for him. There's some real fun, rootable guys for the Rockies. During their 8-game skid, which remarkably was snapped, for the 5th time, an 8-game losing streak was snapped. And for a team this bad, they haven't lost more than 8 games in a row. And when you look at some of the other crap teams from the past, all of them have losing streaks longer than 8 games. It's a really bizarre quirk for the Rockies. They sit now at 32 wins. They are 10 wins away from not being the worst team of all time here on August 14th. So they have 6 weeks left in the season or so. Can they do it? They basically have to win 1 out of every 3rd game. They've got a 4-game set with the Diamondbacks at Coors Field that starts tonight. Then you have 3 games against the Dodgers, who are now out of first place. The Dodgers have been kind of circling the drain here a little bit and just got swept for the entire year. They lost 7 games in a row to the Angels, which is like never happened. So maybe catching the Dodgers at a good time. Although Shohei pitched for 5 innings, and I don't know how the schedule's going to work out, but if Shohei's pitching for the Dodgers, I am such a huge fan, not of his real estate ventures, but of him as a baseball player. So perhaps some Dodgers-Rockies action next week. That being said, here is Warren Schaefer, who is trying to bring life to this team the best he can, because you don't want to be the worst team of all time.
Traditionally, they don't come in St. Louis and do well. What did this series feel like?
Yeah, honestly, I don't care where we're at. We lost 8 in a row, and then the boys keep fighting. It was a great series win, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's fun right there.
When you think back to some of the key moments, how much was the bullpen today? Seeing Jimmy Herget, Jaden Hill doing their thing.
Anderson and Vic at the end. From the 6th inning on, when the pen came in, there wasn't one runner. I mean, that's locked down. They did a great job tonight. Some guys stepping up in big situations like Anderson and Hill. It's what we need. Guys that are earning a role, and they did a good job tonight, giving us a chance. And the offense kept chipping away. Never gave up. It was a good game.
The Rockies were down 5-2. They were down 5 period. They were 5-2 in the 5th inning, run in the 6th, run in the 7th, and really the heroes were 4 different relievers with no hit, no run baseball in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. With Vodnik closing the game 2 games in a row. Okay, that's impressive. And props to Mickey Moniak for making an unbelievable play in center field in the bottom of the 9th as well. So, right on, Rockies. I'll say good things about you when there's good things to say. And when there's not, I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. I am not rooting for them to be the worst team of all time. The way they were playing, it wouldn't have broke my heart if they did. The walk of shame is a very real thing. If the Rockies don't win 42 games, I will walk from the radio station, basically the Home Depot in Park Meadows Mall, to downtown to Coors Field. That's 18 miles. So will I have to do the walk of shame or not? Don't know. We'll see. We shall see. So 120 games in, they're 32-88. They have 42 games left. Can they go 10-32? It's actually kind of interesting and compelling. And every win is like some sort of magical orb. Speaking of orbs.
One of my favorite things was when the fans would come up with their own traditions, right?
Oh, so cool.
Because I can plan a stage show that's cool. Like, we know exactly what's happening, when it's going to happen. It's very stage managed. It's a whole production, right? And I love to plan. Right. But I also do love surprises. Like, there's a time during the European leg of the Eras Tour.
Okay, I'm going to go throw up. See ya.